All right. Hello. I said I would maybe make it, but so yeah. I don't know if people are wondering, probably not, but I'll get to that. Is I'm gonna play this game again, Celeste, because after the tournament, I've been unmotivated as hell to play, and I've been thinking about it a bunch. And a bunch of some of the reasons are like speedrunning itself and the mental aspect it has. Um, and then a bunch of things about Celeste where it's more a personal thing, but still mental. Uh, yeah, just gonna ramble a bit. So, pushing for 28, I tried to go in with an improvement kind of mindset. You know, each individual run shouldn't matter. The only thing that matters is I try to not do wrong what I did wrong before. Try to do things better, cleaner, faster, and with the hope that by after each run, like looking at what went wrong and then practicing that, hoping that it would eventually be my time would be better, which it did. My sum of best went to 27 flat, maybe even 26. My chapter sum of best went to like mid 27 as well. And yet, the closer I got to 28, the more annoyed I got at myself. Because instead of losing like 10 seconds, I could see I was losing in total almost 2 minutes. And it just felt horrible because I knew I could do it. Every chapter that I played, I like had an ILPB where it was almost deathless, very little mistakes, and like good movement, well, decent movement, and yet it wasn't there, and that was just very frustrating to me. I noticed, um, and then it got kind of capped off by losing to Rin, which I don't mind. Like that Rin won. Rin is a very very cool dude. He and I bonded a lot during the tournament, and I don't mind. But I felt like I should have won that race. I had the better race average, the better strats on average, and the more consistent, just more consistent. And but he popped off, and I made a bunch of really dumb mistakes, and I lost, and I was just done. And yeah, I didn't feel like playing anymore. I felt like I was wasting my. Yeah, I could spend my time on other stuff. I work full time. Uh, you kind of lose 9 hours almost every day to that. If I don't, if I like work from home, it's 9 hours. Otherwise, it's like 10, 11. Plus sleep means you get like 4 to 6 hours a day for your own stuff. You have to eat and play other games, maybe. I wanted to do stuff with people. Like in the end, I like collaborating. I like hanging out with people and doing shit together, You whether that play a game or vibe. I like the cooperative part in which speedrunning it used to have early on when we were all learning and labbing. That's why I like labbing so much with someone, because you're trying to solve a puzzle together. That's like weird. But the grind, I don't know. Like a lot of it feels like how through playing and speedrunning I've come to like see or realize that I don't matter at all. You know, I'm not a someone. Like early on in Celeste, I felt like I could maybe not be the best, but be like recognizable, you know? Be like either put out some resource or be known or be a tree of knowledge. Maybe like get asked for some interview, and when later on summoning salt got more traction. Be in that video pretty much. You know, and early on I wasn't really thinking about it, but it really started to hit me when people would just get faster times in less time, literally. They would get a faster time quicker. I was like, I'm not one of the best players. I'm a player that is relatively fast, and that's it. Do I matter? No. Do I like? Would it have mattered? Would the game have been different if I was not playing? My brain tells me no. So yeah, and that's just kind of depressing to think about. How you can put a lot of time in and then it doesn't matter anyway. So I just don't know. I don't feel like grinding the game for some reason. I don't know what it is. I've had this with so many games. Like Rocket League, I got in early. I wanted to be really good. And then as soon as I hit the actual grind, where you have to just be alone and play the game, that's where I fell. And it's usually when you see people just who are so far out of your league, it doesn't even feel reachable, you know? The same with Spin Rhythm. Like it started pretty okay, got better, played harder charts. And then it got to a point where my hands just could not keep up anymore. I could see I could see what I had to do. I could read it, but my hands just couldn't keep up. My thumbs started to hurt, and it all sounds like an excuse to me. But then to see, like for example, Swag Dude, a really good lad who's active in spin rhythm right now, just zoom ahead. Just felt like, I don't know, it felt demotivating knowing that I would never be able to catch up. So what's the point, right? And it's, you know, people always are like, in speedrunning you shouldn't compare and don't, it's all about you and your own progression. It's, what is your own progress if you cannot compare it to someone else? Then it has no meaning. The only meaning is when you can compare, right? That's why the world record is the ultimate comparison in the end. Otherwise, the world record in itself has no meaning. The only meaning it has is that no one else has been able to be faster. That's a comparison, right? I don't know. It's also like what I noticed. I'm rambling again. It feels like Celeste has gotten too big, or the spaces where I would hang out have gotten too big. If that makes sense. In the end, I'm still a shy, relatively, well, compared to the other gamers, I'm not that shy, but relatively socially awkward, shy person, or introverted, as you could say. Again, it feels like either I've learned how to navigate them, or I'm less introverted than some. But at the end of the day, I am just not active in large communities. It overwhelms me. Celeste Court I barely interact with because it's way too big to keep up with. It's just too much to keep up with, I think. I think that's mostly it. CF has gotten honestly a little bit too big to keep up with. But also, like, a lot of the people that I would hang out with the most are not there anymore. It's just a different server now. Like Moose, Psyched, Swessy, they're not there anymore. I mean, there's some other people there, but they're not active. Prof has his own server. Uh, Ever since Among Us died in that server, it has felt like I don't belong there anymore. I don't know what it is. The different views or difference in things that you are and are not allowed to talk about. I don't know what it is. It just feels too big. Spin shares too big. And I can get that people like drift apart, but yeah. That yeah, people can of course drift apart and do their own thing. That was always a big part of why I loved playing Celeste, because it was the interaction with others, and now I just don't know anyone anymore. And it feels like a part of it is me alienating myself, but I don't know what I would want to do about it. Because I really like I was so fucking destroyed when I lost against her, and I didn't want to play the game anymore. And every time I've gone into a grind, it's always the same. Like, I start off, I get some golds here and there, improve, and then I get fixated on this one time barrier or this one time I want to beat, and then the next run has to be it. Which means it's not a growth mindset anymore. It's now a performance mindset, and then you eat yourself up for not playing perfectly every time. I don't know if I can still do it. I don't know. Like the game, yeah. Right now, I've been playing like Isaac for 7 hours a day, so it's not like I don't have the time. Well, I'm on a vacation right now, but I don't know. I, yeah, again, I just don't feel like I'm someone in the game. And it's been, yeah, with all the games I was in somewhat early, I felt like I could be like someone you recognize. But I always happen to like procrastinate out the grind part or something. I'm doing something wrong. I just don't have that kind of motivation to practice every fucking day for hours on end. I'm just too. Uh, I don't know. Dr. K likes to call it wind motivation. I like cycle through games at a time. Like, I have like phases of games I play a lot, I guess is what you could call it. Which is not great for consistency, I can tell you. But yeah. But yeah, Prof is people know Prof. He's like, oh, that pause buffer guy. And he's really knowledgeable about the game. I bet if you would mention me, people wouldn't even know. Only like friends would know. No one else. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I don't matter. And somehow I had the idea that in Celeste I was gonna be someone who did matter, but I don't. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this ramble. Probably put it on YouTube or something, and then or on Twitter or. I don't. I find it weird to post these kind of things because it feels like I'm farming sympathy. You know. And I don't like farming sympathy because I find it a not that great behavior to be like, oh, nobody loves me. I'm so sad. Ooh, and then someone's like, no, we love you so much. And because that's the, just saying that stuff or knowing, even though you feel like that, yeah, you don't want to say it because I don't want to come off as someone who says it for the intention, I guess. But yeah. Yeah. I'll keep it at that.